Swiss Financiers Inc., also referred to in this presentation as SFI, is a Delaware-registered company with a Geneva office that specializes in forging creative financial partnerships with private companies that seek public funding. The team of Swiss Financiers partners have significant experience in deal-making and creative financial problem-solving, having successfully completed almost 200 IPOs. In this pre-IPO round private offering, SFI is offering 10% of its common stock for $20 million. Swiss Financiers is a dealmaker. It operates in the financial world, rubbing shoulders with investment banks, securities brokers, attorneys at law, accountants, and consultants, but always focused primarily on issuers, private companies that see the benefit of the valuation uplift achieved through an initial public offering, or IPO. Opening the gates to public financing. SFI works with companies from around the globe that are interested in listing on NASDAQ. It guides their path, helps them navigate obstacles, and demystifies the traditionally lengthy and difficult process, making a public offering a credible and attractive option to many entrepreneurs that might not have considered it a feasible option using a more traditional route. Part of Swiss Financiers' attraction is the creative solutions it has evolved to speed up the process and control expenses through a combination of proprietary software and patented business processes. The Swiss Financiers logo incorporates its motto, Innovative Financing Tradition. Its mission is to be creative, provide solutions that democratize access to the public markets, to revolutionize the traditional in financing by understanding risk and seeking out opportunity. A key element of this focus is to manage perspective properly. SFI achieves this partly by always maintaining perfect alignment of economic interest with its client issuers. This ensures appropriate pricing, better risk awareness, and creates a true creative financial partnership. SFI takes an airport control tower approach to its dealmaking. There is no part of the process that it is not closely monitoring and helping its clients navigate. A particularly novel element of this approach involves making transaction financing available to issuers through various means. Many of the proprietary techniques and structures created by Swiss Financiers have been awarded business process patents in the U.S. One of those unique patents is for a process called the cascade. It is a capital-raising technique that creates multiple streams of transactional funding, resulting in a waterfall effect. The issuing company that starts a cascade, the issuer at its apex, allocates a portion of the proceeds from its own IPO to fund the transaction costs of 2 more IPOs. This allocation is clearly documented in the offering memorandum under use of proceeds, so it is a contractual obligation. Each subsequent issuing company in the cascade makes a similar allocation that is documented in each offering. This pattern repeats and expands, doubling at each level, creating an almost inexhaustible source of transaction funding in perpetuity. Each issuer funds 2 new issues and benefits from a robust return in cash and equity from those companies it helps to list on the public market. Hence, creating and fostering a financial biosphere of symbiotic entrepreneurs or ventures. Another exclusive patent developed by Swiss Financiers is the transforming wrapper. It provides an eloquent framework to allow for the listing of assets that have previously proven difficult due to their legal nature. Such assets might include tokens or coins that are digital or crypto in nature and thus present a definition conundrum that needs to be overcome before they can be listed on a traditional public exchange. The SFI wrapper solves that problem by changing the asset's legal nature by transforming it into a standard right or obligation which may be listed through a relatively short filing process. At the core of what Swiss Financiers does, is the recognition of the fundamental difference of valuation methodologies and perspectives between private and public equity markets. Private equity seeks to define a company's intrinsic value, using measures such as net asset value or techniques like discounted cash flow. Public markets, on the other hand, compute predictive valuations based on industry multiples, like price-earnings ratio, or risk-adjusted rates of return. This difference in valuation perspective, and resulting methodology, creates huge potential for an uplift in a company's valuation at IPO, as it transitions from private to public. From being valued for what it has already done, to being valued for what it can potentially achieve in the future. The transition from private to public company brings a similar dramatic change in liquidity. Establishing an active price with regular transactional volume not only adds value but provides flexibility and optionality to manage the underlying business of the company and its finances in new ways. Swiss Financiers maintains clearly defined processes for multiple types of engagement with issuers. Each mandate has strict guidelines that reflect the nature of the engagement, but all of them involve an element of equity participation in their fee structure. This is a crucial element of SFI's ethos. By receiving a significant portion of its remuneration in the form of equity, SFI always remains closely aligned with the economic interests and objectives of its issuer clients. Swiss Financiers currently has 16 companies in its deal pipeline, all companies that plan to list on the public markets over the next 3 years. They hail from a wide range of industries including finance, real estate, technology, media, education and more. The one feature they all have in common is their shared interest in benefiting from the uplift in valuation and liquidity provided by an IPO, and their faith in Swiss Financiers to help them achieve that in an efficient and cost-effective way. Several of these companies were created and developed by Swiss Financiers, using its innovative skills to provide creative solutions to a range of issues across multiple sectors. At least 6 deals are already well advanced in their preparation, including plans to list Swiss Financiers itself. Proceeds from this pre-IPO round offering for SFI will be partially used to fund IPO expenses of its own. Based on the IPO calendar, SFI anticipates that it will successfully conclude 4 IPOs next year in 2023, and 5 or 6 the year after, in 2024. SFI identifies 6 distinct revenue streams. 2 are types of dealmaker fees, transaction fees, and success fees or commissions. There is the value of pre-IPO equity awarded to SFI by issuers as part of its remuneration. The 4th source is from the returns of providing transaction financing to issuers directly. Auto-funding its own cascade is one of the proposed uses of proceeds from this pre-IPO round private offering of Swiss Financiers Incorporated. And lastly, the commercial implementation and monetization of the SFI wrapper will have a transformational effect on the ability of digital and crypto assets to be successfully listed on traditional exchanges. Some of these transactions may generate annual licensing fees, but the most common pricing model will be to charge a percentage of the successfully listed flotation value. Adhering to an abundance of caution in valuing of its own business, Swiss Financiers has understated revenue from deal-making fees significantly, by assuming zero income on deals above $1BN in the pipeline calendar. This has been done to overcompensate for any concerns about forecasting new issue activity in the current inflationary environment while markets are volatile. The numbers here also assumed only 20% of SFI's standard tariff is collected in fees from companies in which has a controlling stake. Even allowing for these ultra-conservative assumptions, the revenues generated from dealmaking are very strong. Based on the active pipeline and current issuance calendar, although there will be no IPOs concluded this year, in 2022, there are still deal-related transaction fees of $15.8 million payable before the year end. In 2023, that figure rises to $65 million, boosted by commission fees upon successful completion of IPOs, and there will be a significant award of issuer equity in addition. In 2024, those numbers rise again, almost threefold from the previous year, as more, and larger, deals are closed. Attractive as they are on that basis alone, these numbers remain incomplete, as no estimate has been made of revenue from transaction financing, or for the commercial application of the wrapper and other patents. So, consider the potential for just one of those products, the wrapper. Make your own estimate of the potential demand for listing coins and tokens on Nasdaq. Now consider a 3% charge on the value of those coins that are finally able to successfully list on an exchange. Full details of this private offering can be found in the private offering memorandum, which will be available to investors with interest upon request. It details a $20 million raise for 10% of the common stock of Swiss Financiers Incorporated. The primary use of proceeds is expected to provide transaction funding for issuers, to auto-fund a new SFI Cascade program and cover its own IPO expenses. The tradition part of our motto reflects the respect we have for the path of learning through our industry, which has led us to adopt the innovative approach we now promote, in order to simultaneously learn from, and improve upon, the past. The team of outstanding individuals that comprise Swiss Financiers have been both transaction and thought leaders in their individual careers, and now collectively provide a wealth of talent to create value for SFI's issuer clients. The management team of 8 partners provide individual expertise that covers every aspect of its business functions and clients' needs. The partners are generously supported by an outstanding board of advisors that shares their time, their experience, and their connections generously. We are currently scheduling in-person and virtual one-on-one meetings for those investors that have genuine interest. For further information or to schedule a meeting, please reach out to a partner of Swiss Financiers at the address below or via the link in your original invitation to this event. Thank you all for joining.